everybody. Welcome to this bonus episode of the 13th Man Sports Live Show. You're hearing from us again this week because we have a special guest that you can see beside me here, Manny Arceneaux. Played a long time in the CFL, had some fantastic seasons, won, I believe, over 1,500 yards as well, which you don't see too often. Manny, how you doing?
Man, I'm feeling fine. I'm doing great.
It's good to hear. You've had a long day at work, I suppose, so we won't take up too much of your time here today, but we can always appreciate it anytime that somebody that like you wants to come on and talk with us.
Oh yeah, nah, y'all can have me on anytime. As you can see, the shirt, the Frisco Fighters, the professional indoor team, have been occupied with that as we going on a playoff run. But once this season ends, man, listen, whenever you want me on, or want me to be a part of something, just reach out. I'll be available.
For sure. First things first, want to start off with. You said you've been watching some CFL action this year. How have you been enjoying it? What are your thoughts in general so far?
Nah, I've been enjoying it. It's been a good brand of football that's put out due to the circumstances of a shortened season, no preseason, really going right into it. So you kind of seeing what the guys made of that's on the roster. But for me, it's been entertaining. The game's been close, not too many just blowouts. A couple nail biters, and some teams that just has the history of being dominant. Getting off to a slow start, but it's only week 2. No reason to push the panic button, and it's plenty of football left to go on within the CFL.
Yeah, we had Derek Dennis on the other day, and he was basically sounded the alarm in Edmonton on Trevor Harris, on that whole situation in general. Are you basically saying with no preseason, not too much time to prepare, that there's still plenty of time for the Elks and the Stampeders and the Tigers to turn things around and get them back on the right track?
It's professional football. That's why you can get back on track. It's not high school. It's not college waiting to get another recruiting class. In the business of pro sports, is next man up. So if the guy that's in there not getting the job done, it's the next guy that's behind him job to come in and make plays. But at the professional level, we in the business to win games. So as a scout or whoever's over personnel, that falls back on them. And some situations, if you're looking to win right now, maybe you do need to add a few veteran guys to show the young guys how it's done. But we're in the business of a performance-based business, which means what have you done for me lately? So guys need to be able to produce, whether it's their first year, second year, or you got veterans. Learn the scheme, learn the system, and know that the team with the fewer mistakes gonna win at the end of the day. But guys really have no excuse when you've been a professional athlete. You got to come out there and understand this is your job, which is the entertainment for the fans. But we're in the business of winning games.
I want to quickly talk to you as well about the indoor football stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't even know that you're playing there. What has the transition been like from the Canadian Football League, where the field is so big, there's so much space for you to do stuff, to an indoor game where 2 steps to the right and you're running into boards?
Man, the indoor game is like playing the CFL game on an NFL field. You still have the waggle, you got the high motion part, the different looks. It's a pass-based league, so it's a lot of balls that's in the air, which you can still run, which is similar to the Canadian game. First, second down, punt on third. But it's an exciting game with the fan engagement, and it's a different like you could say, different brand of ball. Like with that wall, the wall's undefeated, and like you say, it's more angles. You just can't run up field, so it's just making a use and knowing how to scheme and get open, and knowing how the indoor football league works as a coach, putting guys in position to be successful. But at the end of the day, it's football. You out there for some guys, that's their resume. That film is your resume. Whether you want to get outdoor, or some guys that play it, just hey man, this indoor season, this is what I'm gonna do. But far as football, it's football, but it's its own game. Like the NFL, its own game. The CFL, its own game to a lot of Americans that know nothing about it. And like the people that's here, the indoor professional football league, some don't know it. All they know is, hey, we got arena or different things of that sort. But at the end of the day, football is football.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the questions that we ask a lot of the Americans when they come to the CFL. Like, for a lot of them, they didn't really know what the CFL was when they, were playing in college, and then they find out about the league, and there's a lot of different things that you have to do to get ready to play in the CFL. Obviously, at one point in your career, you were going through that same process to get used to the rules and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Was the transition from the Canadian game to the arena game kind of the same thing, or was it completely different?
It was exactly the same thing. I still get to go in motion. I still get to come from a standstill. So for me, it was just now I'm doing it on a condensed field. So it's basically I'm in the boundary now, the short side, the entire time. So that was the easy transition for me, being that I had the high motion um, and do that majority of my career. Now, as far as the rules and different things with the halo and all that, that's different, but it's a pass heavy league. You can still run the ball, and it's entertaining. Being that the field is much smaller, just the same way every return ball that's kicked is returned in Canada. So it's ways that the game is exciting to the fans, entertaining, giving them that action without just a bunch of whistles and just waiting around to see something happen. So I just think both games, the indoor game and the CFL game, is very entertaining.
When was it that you decided to go to arena ball? How long did you have to wait around to see if you'd get an offer from a CFL team before you decided to do that?
Man, really, I really was just transitioning to my life after football, coaching youth athletes to professional athletes. And one of the guys I was training with was the quarterback at the time for the Frisco team, Jonathan Bain. And he was asking me for months. And I was like, look, man, I'm done. I really wasn't caring about getting to the CFL. My whole thing was focusing on life after ball. But if the opportunity came, I knew that I would be ready because that's how I prepare, and I didn't fully close that door. And it was just like, hey man, come check it out. So I was like, what? It's 10 minutes away. Let me see what it really is about. This is a whole nother game and style of play that I'm having to learn. So I was like, well, I'm gonna use this indoor football to still keep the Manny Show brand going, being able to reach out to fans, which goes hand in hand with my business of training youth athletes. If I get the kids in the games and they at the arena seeing me play, parents might feel like, hey, that's a guy that I would like to train my son and daughter. Plus, if I'm doing this, I'm in game shape and ready to go if a call came from the Canadian Football League. So it's kind of trying to just kill two birds with one stone, really. Bring that closure, being that 2020 would have been my official last year because I only wanted to play one more than retire. So that's kind of how it worked for me. I'm still able to play football, still competing at a high level, and just doing something that I enjoy. And if the opportunity came from Canada, I'm more than ready. I'm in week 15, 16 of playing football, so I'm in game shape. So it was just playing that final year of football, man, putting on the pads and being able to strap up and go out there with my brothers and compete.
I mean, you say you're in week 15 or 16 of playing football right now. How's the body feel?
Man, the body feel good. I'm a little banged up. It's a lot of hitting going on that wall and just a lot of bang bang. It's a lot of action. But that comes as soon as you finish training camp. You never 100%. You got a new 100%. But I'm used to it. I'm a guy that never complain, and if I can walk, jog, I'm gonna play. So it's just keeping the body healthy, staying on top of all the prehab work, so that on Saturday you're able to go out there and perform.
Yeah. I mean, you just said it too that if you were to get a call from a CFL team, you'd be ready to go. I mean, is that like you said, you're week 15 or 16 playing football right now? Is that something you're interested in doing at the end of the arena season, or are you kind of checked out after this?
Now, of course, I would love to come back and finish where it all started at, but that's not my decision to make. So that's my whole thing, give it to the halfway point of the CFL season, see if a lot of these young guys catch on and be able to make plays. Because if you're not winning, boy, that roster start to look different about week 6, 7, and 8. Guys in and out, in and out. So hopefully they figure it out. But if not, a team might call, hey, Manny, want to bring you out, check you out. Hey, I'm all for it. But In the meantime, for me, it's winning this game, helping my team go on a playoff run, and being able to play for a United Bowl and win one. So that's my whole focus is right now the indoor league, but using it as a stepping stone to possibly finish off a 12-year career, which would give me my 10th year in the CFL in fashion.
And I mean, just looking through those seasons as well, your first year you almost put up 900 yards, and then every season after that you get, 1,114, you get 885, 905, another 1,100 yard season, then a 1,500 yard season, and then even 2017, that was your last real full season in the CFL, and then after that you had some shortened seasons.
Yeah.
Like, you feel you can still put up that 1,000 yard season?
Man, if they brought me in now, I'll finish the year with 1,000 yards. I probably can go on any team and be in a top 3 rotation right now. And
Do you
that's
think so?
just off. That's a fact. That's a skill set and just my mentality. You look at guys starting now that could make the team or make it out of camp that's getting opportunities now when I played that they would have stayed my backup if I was still playing. But that's just how the game worked. But the game gets younger. You got to evolve the next group and crop of receivers. But what's stopping me from getting 12 to 1,500 yards? You just got to throw you the ball. That's all it is. When the offense go through you and you part of the scheme, it's easy to put up those big numbers. And I was in BC doing the numbers I had. Would it been like a duck duck deuce game of quarterbacks?
Yeah.
Guys was getting injured. I never had that one quarterback that stayed in the whole time. So I was able to produce without the luxury of some guys that was getting 10, 12 targets a game. I'm averaging 3 and 4. But I turned up my play when the leaves started to get brown and it got cold. So that's how my game stepped up. I was the second half of the season kind of guy that on that last stretch, that's when I started to separate myself. A lot of guys did they work early in the year or they was just targeted 10, 12 times a game. But I was able to make things happen with an unstable situation. So that's why I always figured the way I had to grind was way harder. You see, so I know I can easily come in, compete for a starting job. But sometimes you gotta let the next wave of receivers do what it is they do. And I was consistent over a decade with my level of play. The only reason I didn't have 1,000 yard season after my rookie year was due to injury. And going into Saskatchewan and what 18, 19 it was, I loved the role that I was in, being that mentor and that vet. When they suited me up, I had to still perform. Like it was nothing, no game lost. I mean, no step was lost or my game started to doggone go on a decline. It was a different role, and I embraced that role, and that's where I'm at now. So if a team brought me in, I'm not coming to be superstar Manny show. I'm coming in to embrace the role to help those younger receivers know what it is to be a pro, how you prepare, how you take care of your body, and how you play this game for a long time. And at the end of the day, consistency is key. The blueprint been out on me since 2010. But what I did each year got better. Each year I produced. Each year I did what I had to do. And especially playing for a coach like Wally Walno.
Yes.
No excuses. You got to find a way to get the job done.
I mean, I'm no expert at arena league stats. I'm not an arena league guy. I've never even been able to go to an arena league game. But to me, when you put up, somewhere between 30 and 60 yards a game, I think that's probably, pretty good, pretty telling.
Yeah. And it's all about where you play at. The coach we have is similar to Wally a lot. So we have a system. It's not backyard football, say hut, throw it and somebody catches. So each guy have their role. Whether you that third down guy or the fourth down guy, the first down guy. Do we need you in the run game? So you have to be a complete receiver that can run, catch, block, if you got to get other guys open. And that has always been my style of play. That's what makes me different. I'm not somebody that's running decoy routes. Not a guy that you just only can say he can catch, can't block. So it's the full body of work you have to look at and watch film. That's why a lot of the times you can't go off stats, whether it's CFL, NFL, put on the film. Turn the film on and watch this guy work. And that's what it is, being able to play any position when your number dialed, being able to perform. And that's kind of how it goes when you're starting to look at the wideout position. Take the numbers out the equation and turn on the actual film. What fans don't look at, they just
Yeah.
look at receptions, catches, touchdowns, averages. Okay, turn on his game film. And that's what I think a lot of people don't factor in the equation because you get so caught in the numbers. And you can have one good game, 6 catches, 130 yards. Never hear from that receiver again. But hey, he had one game, 6 catches, 130 plus yards. Is he the next great? So you don't want to get wowed by the one hit wonders. And I just base everything off your body of work. And I'm the kind of guys that I respect that can do it at a high level consistently.
You've gotten into the end zone 5 times in the last 6 games, though. That's got to feel pretty good for you.
Yeah, you just got to make plays when your number down, running some in, catching some. Whatever it is I can do to help and make those guys around me better. That's all it is. Just going out there every day, showing up, being that guy that's 33 and still doing as if I'm 23. And young guys seeing that, hey, you want to know what it takes to get outdoor? Watch number 84 practice. Watch how he prepare. That's how you get there. And I'm just a resource for these guys to help some of them get to the next level. And I told them that I'm doing this because of them. I was that guy, went to a small school, was accepted into Canada, did what I had to do, made it in the NFL, had success there, came back to Canada. So I was a journeyman. Now I'm seeing a bunch of young guys coming out after COVID, don't know what's next. But I'm like, man, you got to stick to the script. If your plan is to play professional football at the highest level, you got to dominate this level and continue to be a pro.
Yeah. Even though you're saying that you're there for the younger guys, and I mean, you said your focus right now is helping your team go on a playoff run. What would winning in the playoffs mean to you at this stage of your career?
And it'll mean a lot. Be able to finish this thing off, winning the next final 4 games. That means you're a champion. That'll be lovely. Losing in the semifinals, losing in the final, like that's all I experienced in Canada. Couldn't get to the big dance. Crossed over one year, lost to Montreal in the Big O after playing Hamilton back to back. But to be able to get there and finish it off, man, that'll mean a lot. Boy, you going out in style. Win a United Bowl and go back to Canada. Can't beat that. Look, win a Grey Cup and a United Bowl in the same year. That's crazy. But nah, just to be able to get there, man, it'll be awesome. And to win it, that'll be extravagant. And that's something that I look forward to. Heating up at the right time is what it's all about in the playoffs because all you got to do is get in. And you want to be that team that's starting to heat up because them the dangerous teams when they start to figure it out at the right time. And that's in the playoffs.
Yeah. A couple of quick wrap-up ones for you here. The last time that you and I had exchanged DMs, we asked if there was any news about a potential something lining up for you in the CFL. Has anything started to potentially materialize for you yet, or are you still hearing nothing?
Not that I know of. I'm quite sure my agent, man, if somebody was to reach out and talk to him, he'll relay a message to me. But man, I'm just staying in the now, being present, and just like they say, be where your feet are. If an opportunity to come north of the border presents itself, and it's a good one, I'm gonna take advantage of it. But for right now, man, I gotta handle things that's going on. Look, I'm a father and a husband. I'm not this young free agent sitting around working out every day waiting on a phone call. I got real life to deal with. So I'm taking everything one day at a time.
33 is not that old yet, Manny.
It really ain't, but hey, I'm a guy technically I have a mortgage. I got bills. I have mouths to feed. So it's different than being 23 where, hey, I'm fresh out of college. Let me go stay at mom and dad's house and I wake up 5 days a week, work out, don't have no bills, nothing to pay. Yeah. It's different. So, I got real life, but the way I work out, the way I carry myself, man, I always feel as if I'm 10 years younger. Then these young cats keep me young, but I'm always open for opportunities if it's the right one. And my whole thing is stay ready so I don't have to get ready.
And then last one for you. I know you've said stay where your feet are so you can't think too much in the future, but is there an ideal destination in the CFL for you, or are you just going wherever the offer takes you?
I want to go where I'm appreciated and not tolerated. So whichever team that wants me and my skill set and my leadership. So that's what I'm open for.
Yeah. And I mean, I think all CFL fans that never had you on their favorite team, your iconic Manny Show celebration is kind of burned into their heads after, you pick up a big gain or score a touchdown or anything like that. So I know there's a lot of fans around the league that would love to see you on their team's colors. And, I think all of us want to see you back in the CFL this season to finish things off.
Yeah, they need me back so they can see more of this going on and everybody standing up. But nah, man, that'll be a blessing. And the fans, the CFL fans, man, I wouldn't be where I'm at today if it wasn't for them. And I want the fans to know I really appreciate them. That's the whole Manny Show, branding, everything that came from it was from the fans.
Yeah.
And I think that from the kids to the adults, man, everybody that came to the stadiums, sat in those seats, they made the Manny Show who he is today, because that's who I feed off of, the energy from the fans. That's why I would always sign an autograph, always respond, always engage in convo, because at the end of the day, man, one day you won't wear those cleats and suit up, but I always like to form a relationship with the people, because that's what drives the football game, the CFL game is built around the fans.
Yeah. And that's why we're so lucky, because we've had a bunch of fantastic players on. You add yourself to that list now, and we're always so thankful that you guys give up your time for that. One last thing for you: by the time you would get here, there would be about 10 to 8 games left. Confident you can put up 1,000 yards in 8 to 10 games?
Man, you know what? I can give you about 500 to 600.
And then another 400 in the playoffs?
Look, hey, that's possible. I heat up, but the colder it gets, the more I heat up. But knowing for me coming in, it'll be a role playing position. So, but if I'm in a role to get the ball and they feeding me, you best believe I'm finna act a fool and cut up and make some plays.
Yeah, we know that by now. We've lived that and experienced it. We're so thankful that you gave up your time tonight to come talk to us, and we'll let you go before we keep you for too much longer.
Man, thanks for having me. Like I said, feel free to reach out at any time. So,
we absolutely will.
Gotcha. Appreciate it.
Have a good one, man.
Thanks.